The first thing I did once this interview was done was I went to labyrinthlocator.org and I found like about 6 labyrinths in my neighborhood. Did you know that labyrinths are everywhere? And it's a really amazing mindfulness tool. And it's one that Elaine Glass, our podcast guest today, used to help have her own spiritual awakening that brought her to us and to the world of holistic wellness. So Elaine is a transformational coach, author of the book Get Quiet, and a former dental hygienist. Over the course of her 30-year career, she sat with over 40,000 patients, listening to their fears, their stresses, and their longing for peace. You think about it, when you're in that dental hygiene chair, you really are a vulnerable little creature. Her own life took a profound turn during a painful divorce and autoimmune burnout when she discovered a labyrinth just half a mile from her home. And the walk in the labyrinth awakened her intuition and set her on a new path of helping others find stillness and reconnect with themselves. Elaine now helps people embrace holistic healing for mind, body, and soul, sharing the transformative power of getting quiet. And she's working on a certification program for health coaches that teaches her methodology, which you're going to learn all about in this amazing, fascinating interview. Please enjoy. Hi, I'm Erin Power. I'm a health coach, a health coaching educator and mentor, and your host of Health Coach Radio. This podcast delves into the art, science, and business of health coaching. Whether you're aspiring to land a coaching dream job or to embark on your own entrepreneurial adventure, we cover it all. Our mission is to help you grow your career, elevate your income, change the lives of the clients who need your help, and leave a lasting mark in this rapidly growing field. It's time for health coaches to make an impact. It's time for Health Coach Radio. All right. Hey, Elaine. Great to see you. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Erin. Thanks so much for having me. It's just a thrill to be here with you.
I'm excited too. Your book is called Get Quiet, which just a title alone, I'm very intrigued by because I think I love being quiet. I love being quiet. When I say that I love being quiet, what does that say to you? What does that mean to you? Do humans love being quiet?
Well, I think that's our natural state.
Yeah. Interesting.
But our modern life has taken us to a completely different place in believing that that is our quiet state. You know, the thinking was always, well, you know, that person's an introvert if they're a quiet person. And I think they're just really connected to their natural state.
Yeah.
Now, we'll have in this conversation, we'll find out really what I found out Get Quiet meant to me. It's not just being in a state of quiet and stillness. It's much more than that. So it'll be fun to have this conversation with you.
I'm very excited about it. So fill us in, give us the old origin story that brought you to where we are today.
I would say I would start as a little girl growing up in Northern California in the Redwood Forest, coming from mother, grandmothers, just a line of holistic women in my family that loved nature, loved growing their own gardens. I remember going with my mom to the health food store in the 70s and just always trying to find a very natural, holistic way to live. And that was my life. That's what has been passed down through the generations to me. So I feel very blessed, and I honor the generations before me who've lived that way. Well, then fast forward to, life happening and, going to college, getting an education. I went to Northwestern University. I went to the dental school there. I became a dental hygienist. I was doing that for over 25 years and sat with over 40,000 patients one-on-one. And that was a life class for me, Erin, because I was able to see people's overall health, not just their physical health, but a holistic approach to where were they at mentally, spiritually, emotionally, how were their relationships. So I gathered so much information just based upon that I finally dropped my dental instruments and became a life coach. And that has really morphed into me being more of a health coach and a holistic health coach. And what that really means to me is not just looking at nutrition and fitness, but looking at the whole person in a holistic sense. And so the Get Quiet way that I write about is really that holistic approach to healing and living in that type of lifestyle.
Wow. It's a fascinating, call it a career pivot, something that I hear a lot of. Many health coaches, most health coaches and life coaches to a certain extent, we all pivoted from some other professional career. Although, for whatever it's worth, I'm meeting a lot more people who are doing it as their primary vocational training out of high school, which is pretty exciting. But the way you describe that, in 25 years, you sat with 40,000 patients in that sort of vulnerable dental hygiene relationship, and you learned so much from them. I'm just curious, like, how, I mean, on one hand, you're not having conversations with them per se because your hands are in their mouth, are you? But is it just sort of in the way they carry themselves? And it's just fascinating to me what you can learn from being in that proximity with 40,000 people. What some of the things did you learn from those folks?
And what your original question to me was, where did the original story come from? And I'll tell you what I learned, because that's a whole, I could write a book just on what I learned from 40,000 souls. But after finishing those 25 years in healthcare, a coach of mine at the time said, Elaine, what did you learn from sitting with all of those human beings? And the only two words I could think of was, I just want people to get quiet.
Yeah.
And I didn't know really what that meant, so I went on a decade-long journey to really dive deep into that. And so what I learned was that I learned why people get sick. I learned what causes disease. I learned about energy medicine and stuck energy, because here I am with my hands hovering over bodies for 25 years. So it's almost like you don't really need to talk to the person, you can talk to the body in so many ways, as you know. And of course, there were a lot of conversations as well, because people felt very safe in that room with me. So I was sort of privy to a lot of intimate conversations of people sharing personal things about their life and their struggles, particularly around their health struggles. And what I learned was that people, and even myself at the time, very much so, needed to get quiet. And what that means is we need to not only look at the health of our bodies, but the health of our environments, the health of our mental state, the health of our emotional state. I was just reading that the average aged school child in an average classroom is more medicated for their mental state than the average children's mental ward in the 1950s. So the mental state, the emotional state, how to holistically heal. And those are the lessons I learned. And I applied them to myself, because at the time, my life transitions, like my life was crashing down around me. I was going through a difficult divorce. I had 2 small children at the time. And so I needed to get healthy. So I think it always starts with us. We always have that life crashing down story, and how did I help myself, and essentially how did I coach myself through this? And of course I had amazing and beautiful mentors and healers along my path, but I figured it out myself, and I want to share how I did that with the world.
That's amazing. I mean, in discussing your sort of origin story, you really were raised in this holistic kind of family dynamic. And then, you touch on how you could feel sort of energy, having hands hovering over people. Do you think that you're uniquely wired to be this way, or are all humans potentially wired to be this way?
I think we all have the ability to have these sensitivities. We don't know what we don't know what we're encoded with when we come into this lifetime. Everyone has a certain superpower. I believe this is mine, to have sensitivities around the human body on how to heal and how to facilitate healing. I do believe we all can tap into that. But as you can see now, the health coaching industry is what, now a $4 trillion industry around worldwide?
Yeah.
So people are waking up to these abilities that they have because they see that the world is getting quite sick, and environments are toxic. And so more people are rising to the occasion of tuning in to their bodies and finding those abilities, because I think we do all have them.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, health, wellness, fitness, beauty, this ginormous industry that's all kind of interwoven. I always throw the beauty industry in there because I won't get into my reasons why, but I do think it's all connected. It's a multi-trillion-dollar industry. And it's very noisy, though. I mean, if I had to pick a word to describe it, I would say it's like the opposite of quiet. It's you're constantly being marketed to, jumping from trend to message to message. But you feel, I mean, if I'm extrapolating what you just said correctly, that humans, we are drawn, and maybe we're pivoting or seeking the quietness. I also want to get more clear about what you mean by quiet. But to me, the industry is very noisy. Would you agree?
Oh, yes. I mean, we are bombarded.
Yeah.
We are bombarded. And if we don't get healthy ourselves and create the space of quiet in which to tune in and do that inner work, then we will not be discerning for ourselves.
Yeah.
We won't even know how to be discerning for products and services. And we'll just, any shiny object that will come our way, oh, I want to do that. I need that product. And the marketing is so great today that you can be sold in an instant just doing a doom scroll for 30 minutes, and all of a sudden have 6 products from Amazon at your front door. And so the quiet that I'm talking about is the ability to tune in, listen to the body, listen to the heart, and not the ruminating, overthinking, traumatized mind, and know what your body truly needs.
Yeah. No, that's powerful. That's really, I think, applicable to health coaches. So just to kind of reflect that back, your use of the word discerning was really important, because the average health consumer, I would say, is overwhelmed. To your point, they're just buying, shopping carts, Amazon, jumping from thing to thing. So leveraging this quietness to help people be more discerning in their choices is actually in the purview of a health coach. I think about that in, if I'm on a discovery call with a prospective client, guiding the conversation around, how discerning are you currently being as you seek a solution for this struggle you're having? And I think that's really powerful for health coaches, because, we're in the age of products, we're in the age of artificial intelligence. Health coaches, though, are humans. We're humans working with humans. And there's something about that human-to-human connection that does have an energy to it, maybe a deeper quietness in some way. We have the opportunity to tap into that.
Oh, 100%. And at the heart of who we are as coaches is we're educators. And so people come to us because the allopathic world has disappointed them because of the 5 to 10 minute appointments you get. And what doctors used to be, they used to be decades ago educators, but now they don't have time to do that. And so that's why this industry of ours is exploding, because people want that heart to heart. They want that connection. They want to be educated. They want to know from an expert, with all the noise out there that's available, what is true for me. And this is not just a one size fits all. That's what you're going to get on the outside world when you go to the doctor. When they come to us, when they come to you, this is a one fits one.
Yeah.
And people are longing for that. And that is the opportunity that we have, is to be educators and to sit with people and use our abilities. That's using our intuition, not just like, go work out and here's your nutrition, but use the health coach to use their intuition. And that's what I was doing, sitting with all those patients and sitting with my clients. I'm listening to not just their words, but the things in between their words. the space between their words. I'm listening to their bodies. And that is my superpower, because at over 40,000 patients, you can't help not get that superpower. Yeah. So I'm blessed to have had that. But everybody has that ability. Even with the clients you're going to see today, think about just listening in the deepest way you possibly can, because they will eventually tell you exactly what their pain point is.
Yep.
And most people won't tell you what they truly want to tell you unless you create that really, really safe space. And the only way a space can be safe, and I learned that with, again, going back to my dental years, because that is a very scary place for people, is to immediately create a safe place. And that would be a place of listening, of honoring, of respecting that human being in front of you who is so vulnerable.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. And that's something that I actually teach health coaches when I'm training health coaches. You touched on it, which is consider that the client already knows the answer, and our job is to guide them to the answers that are already inside of them. Sometimes the health consumer, especially, the health consumer can feel very disempowered. And I'm going to use this really terrible word. They can feel a little dumb about their own health. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know what to do. I need somebody to tell me what to do. But one of our opportunities and our jobs as a coach is to tease out what's already known within them. So it's self-determined and autonomous and empowered in that way. So I think that's a mark of good health coaching, is being able to have those conversations with clients.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I would have loved for you to have been my health coach, just with that whole philosophy. And so when I bring in this get quiet way, is my method in the book, I know exactly where this person is in the road, in the path to healing. And not just the path to their own healing, but their path to self-discovery. So if I'm looking at somebody and they're really just focusing on the supplement they want to take, the food the diet change, that's my path one. So I have 8 paths that people will walk in this process called the Get Quiet Way. I know they're on path 1, and that's where we all start. We all want to, if someone has, just been diagnosed with something that, they need to change their life around big time, the very first thing they're going to change is what's going in their body. So they're going to cut out the sugar, the gluten, the dairy, anything anti-inflammatory. This is just an intuitive way that humans heal. They know the first path is their body, the health of their body.
Yeah.
What I noticed after that, and that's what makes what I do a more holistic approach, is I now go to 7 other awarenesses that I offer my clients. And the second path is the health of their environment.
Okay.
So not only what's in their cupboard, what's in their closets, who's in their home, is there outside storage units that you're paying for that you don't even know where the key is? Just cleaning and clearing your whole entire environment. And so I go on these 7 or 8 different paths, and every path is associated with an energy point in the body.
Okay.
And so that's my method. And that energy modality is a modality I teach separately even from the Get Quiet Way. So because I learned so much about energy medicine throughout my years, I really do believe that is also a key way to heal and facilitate healing.
Amazing. Is that the chakras then that align with or something different?
No, it's something that is an innovative approach that I came up with.
Oh, fascinating. Wow. Well, since we're into the thick of it now, the Get Quiet method, the Get Quiet Way method? Which word did you choose?
The Get Quiet Way.
The way. So there's 8 paths. You've given us 2. One is food and nourishment. Path 2 is environment. Would you be open to sharing the other paths?
Oh, absolutely. So the third path is the mental, the mind. And I even write in the book the beauty of moments of no mind.
You got my attention.
And how healing that can be as well, is to absolutely just have no mind and be okay with that and feel safe in our bodies without the constant rumination. So that's a really exciting path. And these are all paths, like I said, that I just intuitively went down in healing my own life.
Yeah.
And then the path after that is actually, in my opinion, they're all sort of like, it's like children. You never want to say you love one more than the other. But this next path around emotions and healing emotions, to me, that really is a game changer, because our thoughts do become things, and holding on to anger causes a disease. I mean, these are all definite dots that I connected with 40,000 patients. Anger, sadness, frustration, resentment, worry, all of those things cause stress in our bodies and literally cause our bodies to, with the 4 trillion cells in our bodies, literally we tell those cells, I'm angry. Okay, I mean, I connected those dots so clearly, Erin, that I really truly feel emotions have a huge, huge part of causing disease. And so this is a whole approach to helping with those emotions. The path after emotions is grounding. And so, going back to emotions, so like I said, each energy point, each path has associated with an energy point in the body. So I'll go back. So and I don't want this to be too confusing, but your listeners are extremely intelligent. So I will go through this. So the path of nurturing our body, that energy point is our abdomen, where life begins, where the womb is, where our life force is. The second path we talked about was cleaning and clearing our environment. That is the path that's the heart energy. So when you clean and clear out all the clutter, it really allows this area of your body to open and not be so closed. The mind, that path is the head. The emotions, that path are the hips. So the cup-shaped hips, the ilium. That's where I saw the stuck energy of emotions pooling and this dark energy. And so literally I teach people how to shift that energy and really energetically remove those stuck emotions from your hips. Okay, so now we're at the feet. So that's grounding. So that is, now you've really learned from the first 4 paths so much information, and now you're grounding all of that new information and new habits and behaviors. You're really grounding that into not only physically the ground, but really integrating it into your life. So that's the next path. Once you're able to integrate it all, the next path is the knee region and the area of our knees where, like if you imagine under your kneecaps, stuck energy under your kneecaps. And so I show people how to release that energy, because that's the energy that will move your life forward. If you think about the knees and the way they move your life forward as you walk forward in life. The path after that, which is the one right before the center, is your tailbone. Think about all the injuries we have, either in sitting all day or falls or childbirth or anything. This is the tailbone area that gets stuck. The energy gets stuck, and that is the path of intuition. And for women especially, if we don't shift the energy around our tailbone, we wonder why we feel lost in life. It's because our intuition is stuck. We can't access it. And then you finally, after shifting all this energy, learning all this new information, you finally come back to yourself. And that's the center. That's the last energy point, is our shoulders. And what I have people do, because it's a whole visualization, is literally cross your arms, put each hand on the opposite shoulder, and it's almost like giving yourself a big hug that we've come back to ourselves, finally. And this is the deep quiet that we finally can tune into when we want clarity in our life, when we want to be discerning and know exactly how to do that and what's right for us. When we're looking for answers and are desperate to know what to do next in life, this is all we have to do to get back to who we are, so that the noise of the world no longer affects us.
Health Coach Radio listeners, have I got a treat for you. To get 72-hour free trial access to Primal Health Coach Institute and a 50% off coupon code to the How to Become a Health Coach virtual summit featuring video interviews with over 30 industry experts, visit primalhealthcoach.com/HCR today. Wow, that's really beautiful. I love that you've connected it to parts of the body that make so much sense. I'm just curious. I have so many little logistical questions. So first of all, is this a chronology? Like you have to go through them in order? You know what I mean? Like, do you have to go through all the paths before you can get to the self-hug at the end? Is it crucial to do them in order?
When I'm teaching this to clients, and I also have I'm working on certifying this whole program for health coaches. So when I'm teaching this to coaches and or clients, personal clients, they do need to go and start from path one.
Yeah.
Yes. But it's funny because, this is a lifelong exploration. So a lot of people will go back to a certain chapter in the book or energy point in the body because they'll just sense if they had a shock to their system, let's say they had a loss or they're grieving, and I'll say, where in your body are you feeling this the most? And a lot of times, of course, they'll reach for their heart, but sometimes they'll reach for their head. And it's just, and so I'll say, well, go back and remember, what did that path tell you about that heart energy? That's your environment. So what do you want to clean and clear out in your environment that will help that energy of your heart expand and open again? So that's how we work it. And so, yes, to answer your question, we go through the paths in the order in which I initially give them, but then as life goes on, they'll go back to a certain energy point or a certain path in the book and say, and reread that or relearn that or re-implement skills to go deeper.
That makes sense. And the physical body parts, a couple things on that. I'm just curious. Is it literal? Like, what I mean by that is, if I'm feeling achy knees, is that my body sending me a signal in terms of my path forward, moving my life forward? Is it that literal?
Did you ever read the book You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay?
No, I haven't, but it's on my list. I feel like I'm really missing the point. I really should have read that one by now.
Oh, well, no, it's very interesting the way that she will say so I had that book in my operatory for 20 years because I was always curious when people came in with physical ailments, what was the mental emotional aspect of that?
Yeah.
And so is it literal? Look, everybody is different, but it's a starting point to ask yourself, well, if I've got a bad knee or something's happening with my knees, is there something in my life that I'm scared of moving forward? So it can be literal, but a lot of times people will go back and say, oh yeah, I could have connected the dots because I was being asked to speak at a conference, one woman said, and I was so afraid, but I knew that was going to, move my life forward. And she had twisted her, she had kind of tweaked her knee in Pilates that morning. So it's like, sometimes it does really coordinate, and it is very literal, and it's just very interesting, and it's a starting point. It doesn't have to be so true for you, but it really is a guide and a starting point for people that they feel is very, very aligned.
Yeah, no, I love that. I mean, and I know we talked about this. This isn't the chakras, but I'm just going to use a chakra example to kind of bring this around, because your method is I quite like it. These sort of physical sort of biomechanical parts of the body. But for example, I had a client years and years ago who I work on weight loss with women, so she was struggling with weight loss, and I will keep this story very brief. But she also was working as an engineer at a tech company, but English wasn't her first language, and she was having a hard time communicating with her boss. And I reflected back to the sort of some of the psychospiritual stuff I learned in my holistic nutrition diploma, and I just questioned things around the thyroid, the chakra, the communication of the throat chakra. And turns out she did have a thyroid dysfunction that she didn't know. It had been hidden, and she went and got it checked out. So for me, that was a real aha. Not that, because you're having trouble communicating with your boss, therefore you have thyroid dysregulation. It's like, let's explore this. It's just a little signal for the body, a thread to pull. It was conceptual. I didn't literally believe that her failure to communicate at work meant she had a thyroid, but it was something. It gives you something. There's sort of it's an interesting thread to pull. That's kind of what I'm picking up with respect to your perspective on this too.
100%, because that's how we know, those are the fundamentals of how we know how to take care of ourselves, is to be able to make those connections.
Yeah.
And we need to start somewhere. I did this with my kids when they were very young. And if they had a sports injury, they'd come home and say, oh, I hurt my hand or whatever. I'd literally go to Louise Hayes's book, You Can Heal Your Life, and say, well, what does she say about, this area of the body? And I would just have them start to think, like, could this be happening in your own life, mentally, emotionally? And it's just how I taught my sons how to tune into their body, whether it was true for them or not, just to be able to connect to their body.
Yeah.
And and now they're grown and they'll be like, Mom, what's the book say? So it's, this is how you can really help your children as well be able to tune in and connect.
Yep. It's sort of like pulling a tarot card or something, Like, you can make that tarot card mean anything at all you want, but it gets you thinking about something.
Absolutely. And if you think about the clients that you work with, that all health coaches work with, what are we really doing? We're helping them to connect the dots and connect to their bodies. Mm-hmm. When the noise of the world is distracting us from that, it's pulling us further and further away from being able to tune in and connect to our bodies and to our mental emotional states. And so this is really important work, not only our personal work, our lifelong work as coaches, but our clients grow with us. So even if you're not in like an expert yet in a certain area, on a certain path, we are lifelong learners. We love new information. And so our clients, I see that my clients have grown with me as I have grown. And even if we're just one rung higher on the ladder, one step higher than somebody else, we can still be of value to them. Yeah. And I think some coaches, they think they have to know everything, or they look at other coaches and say, oh, they're the expert, they know so much more than me. But there are millions of people in this country and around the world, as you know, who they just want one small piece of advice.
Yeah.
And it's really that simple. We don't have to make it that difficult as coaches.
Right.
We know we're here to serve people and take care of people and honor people and meet people where they're at. Mm-hmm. And if you just give them one nugget that day.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's really good advice for health coaches. And you touched on this, and just to kind of reflect it back, which is we are eager to be in the expert role or viewed as the expert, and so sometimes we can become overwhelming in our quest to demonstrate our expertise, and that overwhelms an already overwhelmed health consumer. So instead, like I go to this place of like, what if I underwhelmed somebody? What if the energy I brought was underwhelmed? How could I, not to underwhelm, but to sort of dampen the overwhelm they're feeling, and coming in with one simple objective, one simple question, one simple thing to think about would be the way to do it. I can only imagine that for the overwhelmed, busy, burnt out mind, having that experience, a sort of crystal little drop, quiet drop, would just create a lot of space for somebody to actually heal and think and change.
I think you just nailed it. I think it really is about simplicity, and there's a quietness to that.
Yeah.
And there's a peace to that, because what I learned with all those patients, Erin, is that really what we're truly longing for is inner peace.
Yeah.
And that's how the body heals.
Yeah. So I guess just by way of summary, not that we're summarizing, but just because we've gone through your paths here, what do you mean when you say, I want people to get quiet?
What I mean by that is I want them to have new, fresh awareness of how to holistically heal and live their lives out to absolute perfection and really honor this God-given life. That's what I mean.
Yeah. I always pick up on little language cues, but the word fresh was interesting because when you said new, fresh perspective, awareness, I thought the opposite of that is like stagnant or a stuckness. And we do really get stuck in the noise, like the muck of it all, right? So there is a freshness, almost like an inhale of fresh new something that this quietness in the space would allow for. It feels like, yeah. I'm thinking through this, like the noise and the stuckness and everything is so hard to move forward when you're in that, but you need like a fresh sort of open landscape to march forward into. I like the word.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes. You're really cleaning and clearing out your life.
Mm-hmm.
Where there has been accumulation for decades, now there's a purging. Now there's a clearing of space.
Yeah.
And in that space, you can find yourself again.
Mm-hmm. So a moment ago, you mentioned that you are working on like a training program for coaches. So I wouldn't mind just driving the conversation that way, since that is the audience of this podcast is coaches. And they might be wondering, well, if I take this training program, what would I learn, right? So is your plan to teach train health coaches to take their clients through these methods?
Yes. Yes. Well, first, they will go through the method.
Right.
So that we're working on the details now. That'll be rolled out in 2026. I mean, we're doing it now, but in a formal big launch way. It'll be in a few months. And they will be going through the paths themselves. They will be transforming themselves, because why? We go first, always. Yeah. So I don't know how long it will take for every individual. I mean, this took me a decade.
Yeah.
But I will admit, I'm a slow learner. But I'm compiling all this information that I've learned through the decades of my life to put this in a certification so that I can teach this. People can transform and then teach it to their clients. I mean, this is my passion project. This is what I know I'm here to do. So they're going to learn a holistic approach to healing. So where they might have just been focused on the body, which we said was the first path, which is the path of the abdomen, which is where life begins. It's exactly where we need to start. It's perfect.
Yeah.
But if you're a person who wants to grow and expand even more than just beyond the body in terms of facilitating and sharing a health message, which so many people want to do. I mean, I get hundreds and hundreds of people, like we've got wait lists already for the first program, because people they say, I'm kind of, burned out on just telling people nutrition facts and fitness. Like I want to keep going, and I want to grow myself. And so they're excited to do the work themselves. And then from what they learn from each path we talked about, then they have that new information to share with their clients. So it's really this holistic approach to healing We never heal someone. We facilitate their healing, right?
Yep.
So I think that's the main message that I want to share with people too. And they learn how to facilitate healing, not only their own, but their clients.
Yeah. No, I think that's great because I do believe a lot of health coaches have an appetite or an interest in folding a spiritual type of protocol or practice into their health and wellness coaching. But that can feel very vast. You know what I mean? It's just there's so many different spirituality type methodologies one could certify and train in. And it's like, well, are any of these going to be actually applicable to the clients in front of me? So I think this is interesting how you've made this very client-centered approach to holistic mental, physical, emotional, spiritual wellness that a health coach can anchor to and learn.
Thank you. I'm feeling really proud about that myself, because we don't want to get into the dogmas and, is this a religious thing,
Right.
or is this unprofessional now if I'm talking about God or spirituality with my client? Being a dental hygienist all those years, I walked a very fine line with people of, sharing my own beliefs or thoughts. And I remember when I really started going deep in my holistic practices and my hygiene practice, the people I was working with and the dentists I was working for, some of them did not appreciate these new ideas, me bringing these holistic approaches into, now of course there are dentists that practice this more and more, but I'm starting to bring in energy work and in my dental practice, and that was not okay. And so I'm very sensitive to coaches staying on that professional line,
Yeah.
and knowing how far to kind of go either way, so that it feels and continues to feel like a safe environment for people to learn and grow and transform. That is all I'm doing and helping people with, how to create a safe environment. That's the main thing.
Yeah. What kind of practical exercises or tools do you use with clients, and will you encourage coaches to use with clients to help them slow down and tune in to themselves?
Well, so my book is based upon labyrinth walking. That's how, if you're familiar with labyrinths.
Vaguely. A labyrinth is like a maze, but short. Is that-
But short and also not confusing, because it's actually laid out in a formation on the ground. It's a 4,000-year-old ancient formation, and it's been used for mindfulness, a mindfulness tool.
Yeah.
And it's one way in and one way out, so it's not to confuse you. But each path that I talk about, that we've talked about, and each energy point really is the metaphor of the labyrinth that I found near my house here in Paradise Valley, Arizona. And I just went one day and started walking this thing, and it changed my whole entire life. And so that's one tool that we can use, is labyrinth walking, and they're all around the world. And it's just a nice thing to do if people don't like to just sit and meditate. This is a walking meditation, so it's really lovely that way. There's other tools that I use. Depending on if we're talking about the mind, body, and soul, other tools of, writing letters of forgiveness, rewriting our own stories so that we aren't stuck in victimhood. Mm-hmm. How do we shift these energy centers that I was just referring to in ways? Because right now, the reason why we get disease is because our bodies are stuck. Our energy is stuck. And so all these tools are meant to shift your energy. If nothing moves, then nothing changes.
Right.
So we're writing right now all the programming for the certification, and so we're just going into the nitty-gritty of all these tools that we're going to be using. It's really exciting.
It is exciting. Well, labyrinth walking is a physical practice. I'm fascinated that labyrinths are everywhere. I'm going to have to open up Google Maps and find my nearby labyrinth. Maybe I'll make one.
Yeah, there's a whole website. Go to labyrinthlocator.org, and you'll see them all around the world. And they can be in hospitals and churches and schools. But I tell you, Erin, there's a boom with people building them on their own private properties now.
Yeah. I've got 15 acres. I could do it.
Oh gosh.
Maybe I will. It's usually covered in snow half the year, but that's okay. I can make a snow
That's
labyrinth.
okay.
But the reason I think it's like the physical practice is interesting because like when you were talking about the body parts and you mentioned that the hips are the location of emotions, that is exactly what I learned in my yoga teacher training. So hip opener exercises release emotions. So is there any kind of like physical practice like that you're folding in?
There will be definitely physical practices, but a lot of this is visualization.
Oh, good.
For a person to be able to just get centered and go through these energy points visually in their minds and be able to shift. But there will also be physical practices, just like, in yoga as well. Opening up of the hips is, isn't that just the most amazing thing you can do? Like even in the morning, do those hip flexor openings and even begin to then visualize these stuck emotions and just see them just float out of your hips. I mean, there's so much our minds can do to have our minds expect healing, and our bodies then respond in kind. And these types of exercises and visualizations are just changing the way people heal.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. Visualizing a quote unquote hip opener would work just as well as a physical hip opener. It's just bringing awareness to that part of the body. We're just so unaware, aren't we? Like we just kind of move through life very, very unaware of ourselves.
Yeah. And I would say this is how I woke up to my life.
Yeah.
Because at one point, we're all going to wake up and say, well, how did I get here? And what is the meaning of all this?
Yeah.
And these are the types of things that begin to wake us up to the truth of our life, the potential and promise of our life, and really what I believe is our soul's calling. And that's exciting. And especially for women who are nurturing everybody else, now it's time to bring all that back in and nurture ourselves.
Yeah. What is the single most important thing you hope listeners will take away from everything you've taught us today?
You can heal your life. And I know that's what Louise Hay said. And I'm proud to be a Hay House author because she has given me, has mentored me from afar and now from heaven. I truly believe we can heal our bodies and we can heal our life if we just have the right information and the right messenger. So for everyone listening, thank you for being that messenger to the world. Keep going, keep learning, and you are making the biggest difference in healing this planet.
Very nice. So where can people find your book and learn more about your work and keep tabs on your upcoming coach certification program?
Everything is at my website at elaineglass.com. You can find the book anywhere you buy your books. I read the book. People love to listen to that as well. And there are visualizations in the book as well. And the contact page at the end of the website, just be in touch if you're interested in the certification or anything we do. Just contact us and let us know that you're a part of Erin's community, amazing community, and we'll send you information if you're interested.
That's amazing. I'm so excited you did an audiobook. I'm going to download it right away. I love that. Wow, this was really nice, Elaine. I thank you so much for your point of view on this, and I'm so excited to learn more from you by listening to your book, and maybe I'll jump into your certification once it's ready to go in 2026.
Thanks, Erin. I really appreciate our time together. It's been really, really wonderful.
This podcast was brought to you by Primal Health Coach Institute. To learn more about how to become a successful health coach, get in touch with us by visiting primalhealthcoach.com/call. Or if you're already a successful health coach, practitioner, influencer, or thought leader with a thriving business and an interesting story, we'd love to hear from you. Connect with us at hello@primalhealthcoach.com and let us know why we need to interview you for Health Coach Radio. Thanks for listening.